Hey everyone, this is Jared Ingersoll with Trees Medford Mini Forest Project. I'm here with Marc Davidson, who's building our air pruning beds, which we want to use for the mini forest and for other Trees Medford project. So Marc's going to walk us through his prototype and tell us, what the air pruning bed is going to do.
Okay, thanks, Jared. So this is a prototype of the air pruning bed. So the idea is to fill this up with soil up to about this level here, and then can be folded back down to access the plants as they grow from the seed. I'm going to detach this so you can see how this folds down. Can be folded down like this. This is the hardware cloth that's just basically supported between these two parts here. Right now this isn't fully secured yet, but there are a couple of rebar links running the length of the bed, and the hardware cloth, this is 1/2-inch hardware cloth, which is what all of this is, will be secured to the rebar, and we'll fill it with soil. The height of this thing is about 3 feet above the bench, so it's about a little less than 3 feet from the rebar and the hardware cloth resting on it. I may have mentioned this. This is completely disassemblable, so the front comes off completely, and the side comes off, the back comes off, and the other side also, so that we can store this when it's not in use. It's secured with little, right now with little eye screw latches, or possibly I might use this cable as well. But I think with all of the infrastructure here, the rebar and all of this together, I think it'll be a pretty robust solution. There's going to be a top on this. It's not on here now, but it'll also be the same hardware cloth, this 1/2-inch hardware cloth. Let me think if there's anything else.
So why do we have it fully enclosed?
Okay, so this is to protect the plants and the seeds as we put them in, the saplings, from varmints, rabbits, squirrels, and even birds flying in and possibly harvesting our produce. So that's the idea, is to completely enclose it so that animals can't get into it.
And then why are we taking it apart?
Okay, so we would take it apart for transportation. So I'm making these in my shop, so we'll have to be able to put them in a car, so we can disassemble it into 4 parts and then transport it. And also for winter, for over the winter, people may not want to have this in their backyard or wherever they are, and they can be stored away. So that's kind of the idea of having this a modular approach.
And they're 6 feet long and 2 feet wide. Is that what we're looking at?
It's about a little less than 6 feet long and 2 feet wide. Yes.
Why aren't there legs on it?
Okay, so Jared can probably talk about this a little bit better than I can, but these are air pruning beds, so the soil is going to be above the ground, and as the roots of the plants reach the bottom of the soil or the hardware cloth, they sense that there's air beneath them, and they stop growing down and they start going up and around, create a ball, I guess. Maybe Jared can explain that a little better than I can, but the idea is to create a good root system for the plants as they grow in these things. And then we pull this front part off once they've achieved their desired height and size. Pull this down and then pull out the individual plants and then replant them in our mini forest.
And then this is on cinder blocks because we're trying to save on cost, and also we're thinking that we can, if we have to go over winter them, we can lower them right to the ground, put mulch around them, and prevent and protect the plants overwintering.
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That's great. All right. Well, how much for one of these in materials?
I would say around $100.
And
there's a good amount of I've got since I have a shop, I can use my tools to actually make these things, but it's, the wood is probably around $40, and then the hardware another $50 or $60. So,
Okay.
So we're hoping that some people will make some donations, but
Yeah, that would be great. Great, yeah.
that would be ideal. But I was given this rebar, so the rebar is free as far as I'm concerned. It's just salvaged rebar, and it'll be strong enough to support our 10 inches of soil that we're putting in these beds.